Mike, you know, what's in a name? A rose by any other name, etc, etc. To this end, we set one of our researchers to look through the phone book to come up with interesting, unusual, incredible even names. But funny? Do people find names funny? I mean, is the British sense of humour so crass and base that it laughs at people's names just because they might have connotations? Well, we've got 4 people in the studio tonight with us, and let's just try this out as a random poll. This is a cab driver, and your name is Mr. Michael Smelly.
That's right.
Oh, come on, we've only just started. Mr. Michael... Now, do people laugh at your name, Mr. Smelly?
You've just heard it. They just laugh now.
They do, yeah.
They usually do.
Do people call you up and harass you because you have a smelly name?
They call me up, but I wouldn't say they harass me. I get more fun out of it, and British Telecom do make some money.
Now, good business. Now, you're married, aren't you?
I am.
How did your wife react when you first said, I want to make you a smelly too?
Funny you should say that. Before we got married, my wife's maiden name was Smelly.
She was smelly and all?
That's right.
It's almost a religious experience, isn't it?
Could well be.
2 smellies come at a smelly household.
You see...
And next year, 1 minute, come out the way. Next year, get back. Your name is Mrs...
Willie.
Mrs. Willie. Now, Mrs. Willie, this is your experience too, eh?
Yeah.
You find that, what, say you're checking in at a hotel or something, I mean, how do you get around it?
Well, people say, what's your name? You
Yeah.
say Willie, and they say, no, your surname.
You think you're Willie somebody, yeah?
That's right.
And do you actually say Willie right out like that?
No, I never say it. I always spell it, W-I-L-L-Y.
Spelt, pronounced? Willie.
But if I can get away from saying it, I do.
Next year is Mr.
Silly.
Mr. Silly. Now, Mr. Silly, when eye to eye contact, you might see him like stifle a laugh, but over the phone it must get even more pressure on them to crack up, I suppose, is it?
Yeah, I make a lot of phone calls, and Mr. Silly speaking, and you can tell immediately. Hand over the mouthpiece. Snigger, snigger, snigger. Yeah. Oh, guess who I've got here on the other line?
Just
and it's
Mr. You know,
all the time.
so we've got Mr. Smelly, Mrs. Willie, Mr. Silly, and your name at the back is
Mr. Bottom.
Mr. Bottom. Mr. Bottom. Now, Mr. You come from a long line of bottoms, do you?
Oh yeah, there's quite a lot of us. My grandname's Rosie Bottom.
Rosie Bottom.
Yeah.
I bet even in those days, people still laugh just because she had a name like Rosie Bottom. I went to school with Mr. and Mrs. Jarse's boy, Hugh. And just his name was Hugh Jarse, people thought it was funny. They did. And it's a peculiar sense of humour, us British have. So, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for 4 ordinary people who just happen to be called Silly Willy, Smelly Bottom. Thank you very much.